My second point for this session is, can you guess what it is? Starts with ends with unication. Now, call me cliche, but communication is insanely important. Now, I grew up in a family which wasn't the absolute best at communicating. I wasn't the best prepared to go into a relationship with Ruben. He comes from a family that everything is on the table as soon as they have a problem with it. And I, coming from a quite introverted family, was not used to that. When problems started to come up in our relationship, I didn't want to talk about them, wanted to run away, whereas he wanted to face them so that we could solve them. So I've learned a lot about communication being in a relationship with Ruben, and I'm so thankful that he's the one I'm with, because he's taught me how to communicate in a positive way and in a safe way where you're not going to get hurt from speaking what you believe. And I found that the most important thing is to honor and respect the other person's opinion. There's all too many times where I've been talking to him thinking that I'm right and he's thinking that he's right, and all I can feel and hear is that you're right, Hannah, you're right. But in reality, what I needed to be thinking and hear was, okay, I might not agree, but I'm going to listen. Listening is so important when you're in an argument and when you're communicating in general with other people. If you're just thinking about what's in your head, you're not actually listening to what the other person is saying. So I encourage you, when you're in a conversation or when you're in an argument with somebody, that you actually focus on the fact that you need to listen to them and not what's going to come out of your mouth next. When something in here is not aligning in what you want to display, what's in here just comes out. So if you're thinking, I'm right in here, it's just going to come out as, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, even though you're trying to display the attitude that you're respectful. But if you're thinking in here, I'm listening and I'm being respectful, it's going to come out a lot more softly and a lot more honoring to the person that you're talking with. I find it really hard, because I'm quite a stubborn person at times, when I feel like I am right and I want somebody else to agree with me. But sometimes that's not the point. You don't need to have other person that you're talking to agree with you 24/7. Sometimes you just need to come to an honoring resolution where you both say, I respect what you're saying and I really do honor your opinion, but I just don't agree with that, and I hope that we can both live knowing that we don't agree with each other in this aspect of our relationship. Obviously, if it's some sort of big thing, then you need to find a common ground, but for the little things, I respect that, and that's okay. We're just gonna move on. Ruben and I often like to ask each other, honey, are we okay? And this is a pretty blunt way of saying, trying to film a video. Living kind of on a main road at the moment. Sorry. That's kind of a blunt way of saying, are you happy with everything in our relationship? And is there anything we need to improve? I might have been using a tone that he doesn't like recently, or saying something in a way that is not honoring to him, or he might have been doing that to me, and we just bring it up to the surface. We confront it then and there, which has been so hard for me, and then we resolve it. So no matter what, anything underlying that we can think of that has been bothering us about the other person or in the relationship, you just get it out in the open. Nothing's too little to bring up, guys, and nothing's too big to bring up. That one you guys know about, and I'll leave that there. Lastly, what I want to talk about is something that is very, very close to me: not keeping resentment in your heart. So I had an issue that arose in about 2013 for me, and we will dedicate a whole Sunday session if I get permission to talk about this. It was with my parents' divorce, and a situation happened with my mum where I didn't actually speak to her for quite a substantial amount of time when you're a mother and a daughter. But I kept so much resentment in my heart for what had happened during that divorce, and I gave my mum hell. And I'm so sorry, Mum, for the way that I treated you in that time. Although I feel that it was justified at the time. If you're gonna live like Jesus, you don't treat anyone like that. Mum, I love you, and I'm glad that we're fine now. So the point of me bringing that up is, God forbid, if something had happened to my mum in those points where I held that much resentment and she had passed away, imagine the amount of guilt that I would have felt knowing that the last moments that my mum had with me, that she didn't feel love coming from her daughter. What kind of human being would I be to leave her with that? Let alone someone who wants to walk in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. It just doesn't line up, guys. I know there's some horrendous things that people have done to you in your lives. Mine was probably this big compared to what some people have been through. But I just urge you guys to seek Jesus, to ask him to place a seed of love and forgiveness in your heart towards those people, because living with the actual resentment only hurts you. You may lash out because of that feeling, but the feeling only bottles up inside and hurts you. And man, it hurt me for ages, and yeah, I lashed out because of it, but there was always the fact of, oh, I need to avoid this situation or avoid this person, or I need to justify my bitterness to myself because I went for such a long period with that bitterness that it just didn't make sense anymore, that I needed to move on. And my dad has always said to me, Hannah, you can forgive someone, but you don't have to be friends with them. And that is so true. I'm not going to ever ask you to go out to those relationships and say, I forgive you, can we be all dandy and happy friends again, or happy whatever it is. But I urge you to find that forgiveness in yourself, to acknowledge the fact that this has been going on for too long, or this doesn't need to have control over me anymore. I'm going to say, mum, dad, sister, brother, boyfriend, girlfriend, I forgive you, and I'm letting this go to God. This is in God's hands. It's not my job to be the punisher of human beings, to be the punisher of people that have hurt me. It's God's job at the end of the day to deal with them how he sees fit. So you need to let that go. Guys, it's so important. You need to let that go. Anyway, just to recap, number 1, this guy, he's never going to leave you and forsake you. He's the one that needs to be number 1 in every kind of relationship. Number 2, communication. Pretty much all of what I said about communication before. Try and work that into your life, and I'll keep trying to work it into my life. Number 3, don't go to bed angry. Forgive people. Get the resentment out of your heart. Oh, it's said so easily, Hannah. Trust me, I know it's hard, but I also know it's achievable. And I believe in you guys. God's the one that's going to help you through that. Don't take it all in your stride and try to do it by yourself. The creator of the world's got your back. Anyway, that is the end of this Sunday session, guys. I hope you enjoyed your Sunday and enjoyed this video. Hopefully it flicked on a switch for someone out there. Now you can take these points and benefit all your future relationships, or some current ones that you have at the moment. Remember to like and subscribe to the Lion's Den. I post a video every Sunday titled Sunday Sessions. My social media should be linked below, so check out that if you're keen. Happy Sunday, guys. See you in my next video.